After my wife berated me in front of her colleagues, I walked away, and now I'm unsure about our future together. I'm 34 and my wife is 32. We've been married for 6 years. Last week, she invited me to a work event that included a presentation for a product they were developing, followed by dinner. I could finally meet some of her colleagues, and I thought it would be fun to see her in her element. Everything was fine until dinner. While I was chatting with her colleagues, my wife suddenly started criticizing me loudly. I'm not sure if it was the 2 glasses of wine she'd already had, but I was just telling some stories and jokes. Nothing embarrassing and nothing about her. Everyone was laughing, and then out of nowhere she said I never take anything seriously and that I was embarrassing her in front of everyone. I tried to laugh it off, and some of her colleagues even tried to shift the conversation to lighten the mood, hoping she'd stop. But she kept going, raising her voice and clearly directing her criticism at me. Her colleagues looked uncomfortable. I felt humiliated. I quietly asked her if she could calm down and if we could discuss it later, but she snapped, "No, I already told you." It was around this moment that she started glancing around and realizing she was the one making a scene and embarrassing herself. At that point, I realized I couldn't stay there without losing my composure. I told her, "I'm going home," and left. I didn't argue further and went to our car. She didn't follow. About 10 minutes later, she texted me, apologizing and saying she lost control and didn't mean to embarrass me. She admitted she overreacted in front of her colleagues and felt terrible about it. I didn't reply right away because I was driving, but when I parked in front of her house, I just said I was home. When she got home, she wanted to talk, but I told her it was better to wait because I knew I might say things I couldn't take back. I suggested we discuss it tomorrow, after work, when we were both calmer. She still tried to start the conversation that night, but I told her I was going to sleep. Now I don't know what to do. She has never done anything like this before, but the level of disrespect she showed me last night. I'm not going to lie, if we had talked right then, in that moment, I probably would have asked for a divorce. I have about 6 hours until we sit down to talk, and what I'm asking here is how I'm supposed to handle this. I don't want to be in a relationship where she thinks she can disrespect me in front of her colleagues, and I'll just be okay with it. Best comments. Walking out was 100% the right call. If she thinks she can shame you in public and get away with it, the relationships is on shaky ground. A little wine doesn't excuse public disrespect. She needed to see consequences. No, the only question is how she's going to deal with this. You're right to pause and think before discussing. Emotional reactions can cost more than a few words. The fact her colleagues were uncomfortable is telling. Public embarrassment is a serious breach in marriage. She's lucky you didn't blow up in front of everyone. Public embarrassment is a serious offense. A woman testing your limits in front of her colleagues is essentially asking, "Will you let me get away with this?" I consult a lawyer just to be ready in case she does something like that again. Never let a woman disrespect you in public, even if she's normally great. One public humiliation is one too many. I know you're married to her, and it's not like a girlfriend where you can leave and never look back. But be careful. If she doesn't fully acknowledge her mistakes, don't give her a second chance. Just divorce her. Update number 1. 2 days later. I honestly thought she'd try to sweep everything under the rug. But instead, she broke down harder than I've ever seen. She came home early from work that day. I could see she had been crying, holding dinner from my favorite takeout. She said she wanted to make things right, and before I could even sit down, she started crying. She told me that last night, after I left, her colleagues had asked if I was okay. One of them even asked her why she had spoken to me that way. She said the embarrassment hit her like a truck and that she felt sick over it. Then she said something that actually stunned me. "If you had walked out on the marriage that night because of what I did, I wouldn't have blamed you. I broke your trust." We sat down, and she explained that she'd been under insane pressure at work for weeks and took it out on the safest person she had. She admitted she let her stress turn me into a target, and that the 2 glasses of wine she'd had probably didn't help. She barely drinks, so I can give some blame to the alcohol. But in my experience, alcohol doesn't create new thoughts. It just lowers the filter. I asked her if the way I was talking with her colleagues was a problem, but she assured me it wasn't and said her colleagues actually liked me. She explained that she didn't really know why she had that outburst, She thought maybe she panicked because there were some high-ranking people there and I was making everyone laugh with my stories. She said she panicked because she wanted to make a good impression. She admitted she was the one who messed up and emphasized that I did nothing wrong. Then she kind of laughed and admitted that she probably won't be applying for any promotion in the next months. She said she's going to book a session with a therapist because she doesn't want this to destroy our marriage and she wants to talk more on what happened. She promised, not dramatically, but in a grounded, serious way, that she would never, ever speak to me like that in public again. She said she wanted me to feel proud to be with her, not afraid of her reactions. I told her I appreciated everything she said, and I do forgive her. But I also made it clear this was the line. There won't be a second time. I love her, but I won't tolerate public humiliation from the person who's supposed to have my back. She nodded immediately, didn't argue, didn't beg, just said, I understand. We're taking it slow, and we've decided to go on a date night this weekend to reset and reconnect. I'm hopeful, not naively hopeful, just hopeful that this was a one-time event and that she truly learns from it. Best comments. She's apologizing and is taking accountability, but remember, don't let forgiveness become a free pass. Honestly, if she pulls this stunt again, the consequences need to be immediate by divorcing her. Glad she's taking accountability and seeing a therapist, but remember, one apology doesn't erase public humiliation. Keep your boundaries clear. Respect isn't optional. She's scared of losing you, and it shows. That's a good sign. But remember, fear-based obedience isn't the same as respect. Make sure her future actions match her apology. Be cautious. She's clearly remorseful, but she also needs professional help to handle stress. Don't let this slide into another public humiliation. One mistake is forgivable, a pattern is not. You're lucky. My ex-wife did something similar, not with colleagues, but with friends, and when we talked about it, she just kept doubling down. In her snake-tongued way, she basically admitted she might have been wrong for what she said in front of everyone, but insisted that I had to accept it, put it aside, and forget about it. She couldn't even say one, I'm sorry. We ended the night with me telling her we were getting a divorce. Suddenly her smug face changed, and she started asking for forgiveness, but it was already too late.